गिरिवरधारी जय राधा कुंज बिहारी गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री राधा। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Raghunatanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Dinataram. Hare Krishna. So today is the last Sunday of the year 2019. So the last Sunday class. And I'm very fortunate that I was given a chance to speak today. And thank you all for participating throughout the year since February in so many Sunday programs, Sunday after Sunday, consistently being here. And some fairly new, some fairly old. But next year brings a lot of enthusiasm. As we can see, we're ending the year with a lot of enthusiasm. With the Sankirtan team doing amazing book distribution. So, nothing is possible in this world without the mercy of Krishna, but before Krishna, Guru. We need the mercy of Guru. So I thought to take a verse from Bhagavad Gita, which is related to Guru. And this verse is chapter 4, verse 34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I chose this picture because this picture speaks itself for this verse. Such a beautiful picture, and some of you recognize some of the sannyasis, some of the older devotees in there. Just look at the picture, so submissively, so nicely this Mataji is receiving beads from Srila Prabhupada. So the translation is, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport: the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following the principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. And one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So, this speaks about the importance of approaching a spiritual master, that we cannot gain Krishna conscious bhakti without approaching a spiritual master or a guru. Well, we must understand there are two types of gurus. One is a Diksha Guru and one is Shiksha Guru. So Diksha Guru can be one, Shiksha Guru can be many. Before we take a Diksha Guru, we generally take up many Shiksha Gurus or more than one Shiksha Guru to get to the point of taking a Diksha Guru. And when we take a Diksha Guru, the Shiksha Guru still continues. The Diksha Guru gives us the initiation and may not be with us physically all the time. But the Shiksha Guru is probably somebody who's local, who's guiding us, who's helping us grow. And today I'm going to focus on the second part, which is the Shiksha Guru. And I chose the topic from Srimad Bhagavatam about the Avaduta Brahman. Avaduta Brahman story comes in the 11th canto, 7th chapter. And one time, once the Mahabharata was over, Krishna was about 125 years old, and he was getting ready to depart from this material world. At that time, Uddhav, his cousin brother, approached Krishna, and Uddhav felt that Krishna is going to leave. He had this feeling that now Krishna, he's done with killing the demons, he's done with Mahabharata, he's settled now, everything is done, so I have a feeling he's going to leave. He approaches Krishna, and he asks Krishna, Krishna, I have this feeling that you're going to leave us now. Is that true? Is that what's in your heart? And Krishna said, Uddhav, you understand my heart no better than anybody else. That is true. So Uddhav was, Krishna, can you please take me with you as well? And Krishna said that, Uddhav, I would like you to stay here, remain here for some more time. What should I do remaining here, Krishna? Uddhav, why don't you take sannyas? I would like you to take sannyas and then travel all over the world and find me, feel me, realize me in your travels, in nature, etc. Renounce everything and just travel like a mendicant and tell others about your realizations and all. And Uddhava was, Krishna, this is very difficult to do, to just give up, take sannyas and just leave. It's very difficult. Can you share with me? Can you tell me more? What should I do? And how can I bring people closer to you? Then Krishna said, okay, and I will narrate to you the story of this Avadut Brahman. This Avadut Brahman had 24 gurus. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, these are the 24 gurus mentioned. Prithvi Vayur Akasham Apo Agnis Chandrama Ravihi Kapato Jagraha Sindhu Patango Madhukrit Gaja Madhuha Harino Minaha Pingala Kuraro Rabhak Kumari Sharakrat Sarpa Urnanabhi Supeshakrat Ete me Guravo Rajan Chatur Vimshatir Ashritah Shiksha Vriti Bhir Etesham Anvai Shiksham Ihatmanaha. So he says, in my travels, I've come across these 24 gurus: the earth, the air, the sky, the water, fire, sun. I've accepted these as my gurus. Moon, the pigeon, the python, the ocean, the moth, the honeybee, the elephant, bumblebee, the deer, the fish, pingala, the kukara bird, a child, a young girl, arrow maker, serpent, spider, and a wasp. And from these 24, I have learned something that has helped me grow in my spiritual life. So then Krishna starts explaining to Uddhav. So today I won't cover all the 24. That's a lot to cover. But today I will try to cover maybe just two. The first one, which is earth, and then the only personality that he takes as a guru from all these is Pingala. All the others are animals, and there's a generic child, and there's a generic young girl. Everybody else falls in the animal category. And just this one human being, a person, that Avadut Brahman takes as a guru. And that person is not Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakacharya, or His Holiness, or Pope 5, 6, 7, or anything like that. This person that he took or learned from as a guru happens to be a prostitute, the most fallen. So, from the earth, Mother Earth, Chanakya Pandit says that we have 7 mothers. Mother Earth is the 7th mother. The other mothers, this is Vedic culture, this is philosophy. So deep. And the 7 mothers he explains as Atma Mata, mother who gave you birth, Guru Patni, the wife of the spiritual master, Brahmani, the Brahmana's wife, Rajpatnika, king's wife, the queen, Dhenur. Dhenur means cow. Dhatri means nurse. Dhenur, Dhatri, and then Prithvi. Atma Mata, Guru Patni, Brahmani, Rajpatnika, Dhenur, Dhatri, Tatha Prithvi, Saptaita Matra Smritaha. So it says, these are my 7 mothers, our 7 mothers. Now where else this philosophy, this culture is there? To consider a cow as mother, a nurse as mother, all these mothers. So Mother Earth is another mother. And we live on her. Practically without Mother Earth, we would not be walking, we would not be around. Not only because we are stepping on her, but because she provides so many things. This whole reason Krishna appears is Mother Earth going as a cow to Brahma and saying, there's a lot of problems here on earth. I'm really suffering, please help. And Brahma goes to Vishnu, and Vishnu says, I'm coming, and I'll help. So daily, we need to think about this. As we go into this year 2020, reminded me of the year 2000, Y2K. I was at this one firm where we were installing this new application. We were migrating from an old financial system to a new financial system, from from some old one to JD Edwards or something like that. And the rest of the world was doing a march on the streets and with placards and saying that the world is coming to an end. Y2K is the end. Here it says in these books, everything is going to finish. But 20 years from there, nothing is finished. And this year is going to finish, and the next year, 2020, will come, that will also finish. And we'll just keep going and march, towards our final destination, which is death. But I'd like you to all think tonight that this new year that I'm going to go into, what am I going to do different? how I'm going to be a better person next year. One notch, just a little bit. Do something different. Just yourself, not everybody else. Just focusing on ourselves, just like a horse that runs in a race. They put a flap on the horse and they show the destination that you need to go in that direction. So the horse cannot see here and there. The moment the horse starts seeing here and there, it gets distracted. And a fraction of a second of a distraction, that horse is going to fall behind. So today we're going to put some flaps like this and focus on this new year. And go home tonight and think about this. And maybe read the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto of 11th chapter, 7th canto, 11th chapter, or 11th canto, 7th chapter, and dive into this. So, Mother Earth faces so many problems. I've just listed a few of them. And few of them are mentioned in the Bhagavatam also, in Prabhupada's. This deep oil drilling and so many different types of drilling going on. Poking inside Mother Earth. The whole radius from one end to the other end of Mother Earth, you know how much it is? Distance, how many miles?
8,000.
8,000, who said that? Okay, about 8,000 miles. And do you know how much human being has dug inside? How deep they've gone so far? Couple of miles. I read something around 18 miles, 20 miles. That's all they've gone so far. But they're still poking and they're finding ways to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and they want to go as deep that they can come out from the other side. Now think about this. When somebody pokes us, how do we react? When somebody pokes us all the time, boom, boom, something, our softer points all the time, something or the other. But Mother Earth, we will see how she responds. There's fires. People are burning. There's natural fires, but there are people burning forests and making those converting into wastelands. We're already seeing the effect of global warming. December weather. Have you ever seen December weather like this? 50s and 40s, 50s and 60s. It's been warm. I was just talking to Sumit Prabhu. He just came from Toronto. He was saying that it was warm there too in Canada. We've never seen this. And then you look at Delhi, and they're saying this has been the most freezing day in the last few years. It's getting so cold over there. And here we are all walking in spring jacket. Atomic explosions, Prabhupada wrote back then. Then now there's nuclear explosions. They're testing nuclear explosions under the ground. And the rippling effects that has on Earth, Mother Earth. Can you imagine what's going on? Pollution. Streets are now being covered with garbages everywhere, all over the world. Here, different kind of pollution. Here we don't see the pollution on the streets, but there's many other pollution, the slaughterhouses, blood flowing into Mother Earth. Forests are being cut down. Wastelands are being created. Oceans are being flooded with junk. Recently, some of you may have seen this video of a cow that the doctors are treating, and from the side they're removing plastic from the cow's stomach. Plastic after plastic after plastic. That cow is suffering because so hungry that it just ate, there's plastic and there's food inside. So to get through that food, it doesn't know how to open that plastic bag. So it just consumes the entire plastic and everything is there. This is how we treat our mother. And then blood from wars and slaughterhouses. I recently read, and I had also seen many years ago, there's a movie called The Man Who Saw Tomorrow by Nostradamus. He's a astrologer. He predicted, and many of his predictions have come true. And one of his predictions is that year 2020 is going to bring the highest number of wars and disturbances all over the world. And we're already seeing, and he's gone into details also. You can read it up, you can watch that movie too. That he says that people take on the streets, there will be protests, there will be mass murders, there will be killings, even there will be major wars. And he also mentions Russia and somebody from the Middle East attacking US and all these things. Economies are going to crash. All these things, he says 2020 is the beginning of that. There will be recession, there will be depression. There's going to be lots and lots of problems coming. Prediction could be wrong, who cares? But we do, because we live in this material world. So what do we do about it? we can bring a change from one person. One person, Prabhupada came to America and he changed the entire world. So we have hope that if we all be conscious about our surroundings, Mother Earth and all, we can teach our kids and they can teach their kids, and like that, it will just keep expanding and expanding and expanding, and this awareness will come to people. But we have to start at home. We have to start with ourselves. Charity begins at home. So in Bhagavatam, Avadut Brahman says, from this earth, Mother Earth, my Guru, what have I learned? I have learned how to be sober. Despite being in all these conditions, despite going through so much pain, so many problems, so many things she gives, herbs, minerals, so many things. But people are not, gratitude is lacking towards Mother Earth. And despite all this, she continues to give. So Avadut Brahman says that is what I have learned. And that is what he's applying. That no matter what and how somebody treats me or treats us, that I will follow my dharma. And what is our dharma? The dharma of the soul. What is the dharma of the soul? Prabhupada's book Dharma, it says, the title is Dharma, and there the first paragraph says, what is Dharma? Dharma means dharma of not this body. My dharma is, as a grihastha is something, as a brahmachari is something, not that dharma. Prabhupada is explaining what is your dharma. And when he says your dharma, he's talking about the spirit soul. And what does he say? What is the dharma of the soul? To serve the Supreme Lord. So he's saying that to be sober, that we may face challenges. People will step on us. People will try to put you down. People will criticize you. People will tell you that you're a failure. People will tell you that you don't qualify. They will tell you you're a fool. But despite all these things, can we remain sober and continue in our Krishna consciousness, in our bhakti? Of course, in our material lives too. But most important thing is our spiritual life. If our spiritual life, if our foundation is strong, material life will automatically be strong. But the moment our spiritual life weakens, everything else crashes, because our spiritual life is the foundation of everything else. So if that foundation is weak, everything else will be weak. To remain sober, to be tolerant. All these things happening, but she's still tolerant. Yes, once in a while when Krishna has to come, she becomes the person to go to Krishna and says, Krishna, please help. But otherwise, nothing. And she's steady in her service to Krishna. Despite all these problems, global warming and everything, she does not budge a little from the orbit. She goes around. If a little fraction of, if she moves from where she is, you know what will happen? Calamities. And she continues day in and out, day in and out. Are we steady in our own life? Or do we get shaken up? Physical problems, mental problems, financial problems, all those are like these problems that are on the right hand side, Mother Earth. And on the left, being steady. Why is she steady? Because she's a surrendered soul to Krishna. And she's getting her strength from Krishna. So can we remain steady when calamities fall upon us, when people step on us? We must. This is something that we can learn from Mother Earth. To be patient. We're always seeking good results. We're always seeking something. But we have to be patient. We will all have our own time. Krishna has, our karmas have packaged our time span in a way where the good and bad will come out when it is supposed to come out. We can't do anything to alter it. We just cannot. We can delay it. What astrology teaches us is you can delay it, but you cannot create. Just by wearing something or doing some puja, you cannot create good karmas. Good karmas can only be done by your actions. We do good karmas and then you get good reactions. But you can postpone your bad karmic reactions. But you cannot cancel it, you cannot remove it. So we have to be patient when we are going through the bad times, when we are going through tough times. We have to remain quiet and humble and just be patient for that moment when things will change, turn around. It's not going to be dark forever. There will be light. It's not night forever. There will be sunrise. We have to wait for that sunrise. If we can be patient enough and just remain calm and composed. Prabhupada uses the word dhira. Dhira is a person who in good times or in bad times remains stable. Doesn't get excited very quickly and doesn't get depressed and sad very easily. Remains stable in all conditions. Is duty bound. That this is what I'm supposed to do and I will do it no matter what. Our acharyas, our gurus have exemplified this. They were duty bound to Srila Prabhupada in this moment. Whatever and wherever Srila Prabhupada required them to go, they went. They did whatever was required. So what is our duty? First, to be duty bound, we have to understand also what is our duty. We think our duty is just to earn money, take care of the family, raise the kids, buy a nice, good house, good car and all that. That is my duty. And for that, I'm duty bound. That is not our duty. Our duty, Bharat Bhumi te janma hoilo jar, janma sarthak kare, karo upakar, karo paro upakar. That one who has taken birth in Bharat Vansha, their top foremost duty is to deliver themselves and others from this material condition. That is their duty. So we must take up that. Forgiveness is another great quality of Mother Earth. Despite all these things, she's so forgiving, so forgiving. Something we can adapt from ourselves. When we are faced with these challenges from three things, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmika, and mainly problems caused by other living entities, are we forgiving? I'm speaking because I have been in that situation and I have forgiven. I'm not just going to sit here and give a class based on what's in the books. I'm going to relate with practical examples that I've gone through also. Everybody, all of us have, I've been criticized, I've been told that you don't qualify, you're not this, you're not that. In academics, I was really bad. I really had no interest in studies. I thought I was a failure. My friends they were nice, they didn't make fun, but others were looking down upon me. And as I grew up, there was many other people, my family always thought I was into one sport, one season, then the next season I was in another sport. I was into swimming, then I was into tennis, then I was into cricket. And they would say, it's just a phase and he'll just keep moving on. He's never going to do something. He's never going to stick to anything. That put a seed in my mind. Yeah? When somebody tells you that, you will start believing in it and you'll think, why? Because this person who I love tells me that I'm no good for anything. And my mother says this, my father says this, my colleagues, my teacher, everybody says you're a fool. And you start believing and you start accepting it. But I just kept going on from one thing to another. And then I came to Krishna consciousness, and then they thought this would be a phase also. But, it's been a long phase actually. How many years, Mataji, you said? 26. It's a long phase. Maybe I'll move on from this too. You all pray for me that I don't move on. But those who used to say that, now they're quiet. Because they say, now he's found his thing. And now he's there. So we can go through multiple phases. We can go through multiple things. Finally, we come to Krishna. And then it's a full stop. Now there is no need to search for anything else, Prabhus and Matajis. Everything ends here. And during this journey, many times I've been criticized. I've got these wonderful love letters describing my 64 good qualities. I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and you should be this and you should be that and you should be spanked here and you should be done. Many such things. All nice. Krishna's 64 good qualities. My 64 bad qualities have been also shown. But I did not retaliate in such situations. Jai Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Jai Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So in these situations, you don't do a tit for tat. Oh, you're talking about my 64 bad qualities? I'm going to talk about your 128 bad qualities. Forgiveness is a quality that we must learn. Forgive and forget and move on. Move on. Because if you get caught up in this chakra view, you'll be stuck. You'll never be able to come out of it. Sometimes you just feel, wish I had this, what do they call that, where you forget things? Huh? Amnesia. Sometimes I feel, wish I had that. Because sometimes you just want to forget certain things. You just want to forget certain people. You just want to forget certain instances. But it doesn't happen, and God forbid that doesn't happen, because then you forget Krishna also, then you forget devotees also. But you sometimes just want to forget those things and leave it behind and just move on. So forgiveness is another quality that we can learn from Mother Earth. And Mother Earth has so many mountains, and from those mountains we can learn, Bhagavatam describes, how to serve and serve. Mountains are by themselves usually. Sages used to come and sit on them, Himalayas, Govardhan. And they just keep giving so many herbs and minerals and water and so many things. And the trees, we cut it down. It takes years and years to build, and in one shot chop it down. But it gives so much fruits and shelter and flowers and so many things, and never complains. Avaduta Brahmana is saying this. I'm not saying this. Very deep thoughts, very deep meanings behind this. So we remember that so many things, natural resources we get from her. And next time when we are out there, when we are doing our japa walk, when you're in nature, when you're traveling with family and you're sitting on the passenger seat, you're sitting in the back seat, try not to be on your phone. Try to look outside. Try to look at the clouds, the sky, the greenery, the trees, the cows, the animals that you pass, the people that you pass, and try to learn from these things. You'll start appreciating what we have. When you go on your japa walk, don't just close your eyes and walk. You shouldn't walk with your eyes closed anyways. You'll end up in some ditch or something. But don't just look down, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram. The birds are chirping. They want to listen to you. They're calling out. The flowers are blooming. There's nice fragrance from Mother Earth coming. One of my good friends from India in Pune, he told me, he's a healer. He said, I'll tell you 3 things that you do, and that will definitely help you. He said, you do this for 15 days. He says, in the morning, you walk on the grass without your shoes on. You get the sunlight, fresh sunlight in the morning sun. And then when you go home in the shower, you take some salt and put salt on the parts of the body that hurts, pains. Salt it absorbs all this pain and bad things in you. So he said, you do these 3 things, and I guarantee you will see a change. So he was talking about nature. He said, why spend so much money? Try it out. I haven't tried it out yet just because, again, discipline and the time. But I truly believe what he said. I did start walking without my shoes on and with the sunlight. My vitamin D levels came into good balance. The salt part I haven't tried, but try that. So when you're out there in nature, don't be mechanical. We wake up in the morning and we do things mechanically. I have to finish my 16 rounds. I have to pack my kids' breakfast. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. And then in between that, I have to squeeze my 16 rounds. We are in this nature, and this as a human being, we have these senses to look around and observe and learn so much from Mother Earth and nature, and apply that in our Krishna consciousness. So when you're traveling, when you're going, otherwise we're like robots. We go to the office and one machine working with another machine. Then when we are done with that, since from morning onwards, what happens? People, most of them, they get up, they go and sit, where they sit, first thing in the morning. And then there's the phone, right? And then they're, emptying their stomach, and then they're taking a tour of the world. What happened here, what happened there, Facebook updates, this, who chatted, who this is. Many people do that. It starts with the morning sadhana, sitting sadhana, that is called sitting asana, whatever you call. Then you get up, take your shower and all that. Then you sit for chanting. There's no time to chant. In between chanting, other things happen. Then you go to work. Rush, 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 rush. And we miss out what's happening in the nature. So that is something that we can learn. Then we must ask ourselves, what kind of a person am I? Am I a giver and a giver? Do I always give and give like Mother Earth? She never asks for anything. She just gives. Or am I a give and a take type of a person, like a businessman? I'll give you this, but in return I want that also. Or I'll always remember, I gave you when you came to my house, I gave you this, and I'm still waiting for a return gift. Or are you a take and a take person? Always I want this and I want that. Always wanting. Like kids, kids always, Papa, I want this, Papa, I want that, Papa, I want this, I want that, I want this. Always wanting. Or are we the fourth class? Always finding faults, always criticizing, and always blaming. So we have to individually ask ourselves and be honest about it, because if you're not able to dissect your own situation, your own condition right now, you'll never be able to resolve that problem either. You would not be able to know who you are. So we have to find which category I am. And end of the day, we want to get from give and take to give and give, from take and take to give and give, and from finding faults, criticize and blame, to give and give. Why? Because if we become a giver, then we will attract Krishna's attention. Then you can go up to Brahma or Krishna, and then Vishnu and say, please help me, and then Krishna will say, I'm coming. If we are a give and take and finding false person, Krishna is never going to help us, because we have taken the matters in our own hands. We want to put our matters in Krishna's hand, and we want him to help us. It's a struggle. It's struggle. It's not easy to just change and say, okay, I'm going to give and give. Right after we are done with this class, somebody comes and says something nasty to you. We're going to forget about everything about this, what we heard in the class, what I spoke in the class. But we have to constantly remember one thing, that I want to attract Krishna's attention. I want Krishna to know that I exist. I want Krishna to know that I love him. I want Krishna to tell Srimati Radharani that that is my devotee. And for that to happen, we will have to bite our tongue. Have you ever tried this next time? It has worked for me. All of you, open your mouth wide. Bring your tongue out. And now, bite on your tongue. Now, don't move your tongue. Bite it. You look so funny out there, Gaurang Prabhu. Try to say something to me.
Hello.
He's not able to speak back to me. I've done that and it has worked. Try it next time. When your mind says, talk back, say something, and your intelligence will say, bite your tongue. And keep your tongue inside your lips. You don't want to show to your boss. They'll be like, what? You're fired. So you keep your tongue bitten inside your mouth. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And don't say anything. Don't say anything. And let the person keep saying to you whatever they want to say. As long as you can use your intelligence and keep that tongue bitten, you'll pass that phase and you realize that frustration, everything has come out. Your anger level has gone to that peak where now you want to not only release your tongue, but you want to release your hands and legs and everything on them. But if you just hang on for a while, you'll be able to control your anger. And this Radhanath Maharaj says that unless one is happy within one's own heart, one cannot be happy no matter what one acquires. So bottom line is, as human beings, we want to be happy. You ask a dog, you want to be happy, or what are you talking about? Just give me my food. And my time comes, I'll sleep, I'll wake up. But the human being is doing everything to be happy. Relationships, I want to be happy. Work, I want to be happy. And Maharaj here so nicely says that one cannot be happy no matter what one acquires. Happiness is within. So who are we within? Are we give and take, or give and give person? We put boundaries in our life, you see. I will give, but I can only give so much. I will give, but only so much. I will do, but only so much, which is fine. But let it come naturally. Don't put boundaries like that. And again, everybody is different. So we all have choices. But here Avadut Brahmana is saying that this is what I've learned from Mother Earth. We can take whatever we want. But you will see from our own spiritual, forget, I'm not going to go too far away. I'm just going to go one level up. Our own spiritual master. And I'm just going to take that as a case study. And you can use Srila Prabhupada as a case study also. What did they do? Give and give. By giving and giving, what happens is you're beaten up. You're beaten up to hell. But if you can still in that mode keep remaining humble and give others Krishna consciousness, then internally will become stronger and will find more and more happiness. So remember Mother Earth. Next time when you step out and when it pours outside, when it rains heavy, look at the beauty in when it rains. In Vrindavan there are pastimes that when it used to rain, the peacocks would open their feathers. They'll start dancing. Krishna would start dancing. And what do we start looking at when it rains? It's so gloomy today. It's so boring today. I'm so down today. I'm so frustrated today. Haribol. If there's no rain, there's not going to be food to eat. So next time you see rain, appreciate everything. I'm sorry, but I try to look at positive things in things. Sometimes people don't even like that. Why are you so positive? Like, whenever I talk to Arundhati Mataji, I tell her anything, from somewhere she takes something positive out and says. Like everything she's like, just says something positive. So I'm like, every angle, when you start looking, what happens? It starts reflecting on you. And you start thinking like that too. Okay, all right, it's nice rain. When are you going to stop? But when there was ice, last week, 2 weeks ago, there was ice all over the trees and leaves and plants and bushes. You saw that? Yeah. Beautiful sunlight, beautiful, beautiful. So I was going off to work and we have the street all the way down, very long street. And there were long, big trees on Everett Road. And there was ice on the trees, and the sun was shining. It was so beautiful. I took out my phone right away from my car. I said, I'm going to use my Oppo. I have an Oppo phone from India. So I said, I'm going to use my Oppo phone. I'm going to click a nice picture. But as I was going to do that, something from my heart said to me, that Haribol, that do you know why these trees are trees? They're suffering in this body. And to top off with that, they have ice cold, ice on their body. Looking nice to your eyes, isn't it? But Ramachandra, they are suffering. And I took my phone, I put it back in my... I had not read Avaduta Brahmanas, but I was just observing nature. Just observing, and somehow we say, right, there is Paramatma within us. And I truly believe if you talk to Paramatma, Paramatma talks to you and guides you. Today, the deity installation ceremony, Kratu Prabhuji said that. What is deity service? You're talking, you're interacting with the deities. Not just there. Talk to them. Talk to nature. See nature. So when I saw that, I was like, no. So much pain. And we have to pray for this. Just like there are some people who do not visit the zoo where animals reside. Because they feel the suffering of the animals. Caged up, locked up, and we go and, hey, Haribo, Haribo. And they are like, in this little 4x4 where I jump from one tree to another. And I'm the king of the jungle. They put me in a cage, 20 by 20. And you guys are, Haribol, let me come out. I'll show you who's Haribol and who's not. So a lot of people, they don't visit the zoo. And when I heard that concept, I heard that feeling, I felt genuinely sorrowful. I said, no, that's true. These people are making money. For them, it's a business. But they are suffering. And the next life, what will happen? Prabhupada, when he used to go on his japa walk, Prabhupada's japa walk, hear this, how it started. Prabhupada was sick, very sick. Disciples called a doctor. The doctor caught his nerve and said, everything is all right. He just needs to exercise. We need to start walking daily. And these devotees were not happy. Telling our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, that he should walk, get another doctor. Prabhupada, this doctor is not right, we'll get another doctor. Prabhupada said, no. This is a message coming from Krishna through this doctor to me that I must start walking. And that's how Japa walk started. Prabhupada was tuned in to anybody and everybody, just like Davaduta Brahman. He didn't say, when he said 24 gurus, my first guru is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next guru is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Guru Maharaj ki jai. All these Goswamis, no. He said these gurus are python, pigeon, pingala, prostitute, moon, earth, sky, bird. All these are my gurus. So Prabhupada also took instruction from somebody who was not qualified to instruct Prabhupada at his level. Prabhupada said, this is a message from Krishna. He started walking. And while he's walking by the beach, by the river, by the lake, somebody's fishing. And Prabhupada, in the middle of, you will think that Prabhupada is completely engrossed in chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then suddenly Prabhupada says, today you are killing the fish. You are fishing. Tomorrow that fish will fish you. And then the disciples will be, Prabhupada is watching and observing everything. So my dear friends, that going into the new year, be observant of people, be observant of things around you. Sometimes people around you are frustrated as much as you are. They are seeking love as much as you are. They are as angry and frustrated as you are. Give them the benefit of doubt. When somebody, if you're serving here, prasadam, or you're serving any other service in the temple, you may be frustrated, you may be upset, but consider how others will feel the way you react. You know this mouth, this lip, it goes like this. Smile. It's like a bow. How is a bow? Like this, right? And inside the bow there is an arrow. Your tongue is an arrow. So those arrows, you can shoot sharp arrows, or you could shoot arrows like the Kamadev, very soft, loving arrows. So when you open your mouth, remember this is the bow. And what are you going to shoot out? Is it that sharp arrow that's going to go and pierce somebody and hurt them for the rest of their life? Or are you going to say something to appreciate something in them? See some good quality in somebody sometime? We are taught how to find faults all the time. And we become like that. We become those robots. Fault-finding robots. So in this new year, try it for 1 month. Take Mother Earth as a guru for 1 month. Then the next month we'll go into air, and then sky, and then fire, and then water, and then moon, and then sun, and then Pitan, and then Python, and all those things. But one guru a month. And you will see that our life will change drastically. And when you hold that tongue between your teeth and don't say back, trust me, you will change people around you. And this last verse, and I will end here. Bhagavad Gita 12.18 and 19. Sama shastro cha mitre cha tatha mana pamanayo shitoshna sukha dukkheshu sama sanga vivarjitaha tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit aniketa stira matir bhakti mame priyo naraha. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat after me. one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. Focus on that translation. Take 30 seconds and lock yourself into one of those things. Maybe heat and cold, maybe honor and dishonor, maybe enemy and friends, wherever, whichever, or all of them. Just focus on it. And think within your heart that in that situation, I will not be shaken up. In that situation, I will remember Krishna. And I'll leave it up to Krishna to reciprocate the way he wants to reciprocate. If he wants to help me, he may help me. If he doesn't want to help me, so be it. But in that situation, I will remain what Krishna says. He says here, he's promising, no? That person is very dear to me. Now I will test Krishna. Krishna, you told me. Now I'm being dishonored. I'm being dishonored here. I didn't do this, Krishna. But I will remain my composure. I will not retaliate. I will not hurt other persons. Now it's up to me. Do you still love me? And we will see that. The time comes, we have to be patient. When time comes, Krishna will show you, because he's our dear father and mother. He's not heartless God. We come and pray to Radha Krishna. Every time we come and sing and dance, he's crying for us to come back home. He's crying for us. So have faith in him. When he says you're most dear to me, change, bring the change from within your heart. And that will change the world around you. As devotees, as Vaishnavas, if we call ourselves Vaishnavas, we should not have any enemies. We should not have hatred for any persons. There may be differences, but there should not be any hatred. If we are not able to make eye-to-eye contact with a devotee, you're not a devotee. So read this daily and apply it in our lives. If you want Krishna, where he says, such a person is dear to me, it is up to us, it's not up to Krishna how he accepts us. It is up to us how we want ourselves to be accepted to Krishna. But we'll have to put a big stone on our heart. We'll have to make sacrifices. And then we'll bypass so many people and go closer to Krishna really, really quickly. And the last thing we want to do is criticize and belittle devotees. Vaishnava Prad and Nama Prad. Refrain from that. So here you see such a beautiful picture, Krishna accepting his devotee with so much love. And all we seek is Krishna, that one tear of Krishna falls on our body. That one tear, and that's everything. And look at this one. We always go to Krishna and say, Krishna, please do this for me. Krishna, please do that for me. Krishna, I want this. Krishna, can you help here? Can you help here? And here is Arjun telling Krishna, please don't do this. Please. Krishna took a vow not to lift a weapon in the battle of Kurukshetra. And when Bhishma Pitama was about to kill Arjuna, Krishna could not bear that. And he lifted a weapon. And here Arjuna is holding his feet, and instead of praying and saying, "Maar usko, maar Krishna, maar usko," aise maar, itna beat him up like he will never wake up. Bhishma Pitama? No, we don't pray to Krishna to see other devotees suffer. We don't pray to Krishna that may this devotee suffer, may that devotee go through these problems and that problems. Take my problems and throw it there. Here, Arjuna is praying, Krishna, please don't break your vow for me. This is our loving Krishna. This is our loving Krishna. So have faith in Krishna, and 2020 will surely bring, doesn't matter which economies fail, doesn't matter where wars will happen. If we follow one of these things that was mentioned in this translation, Krishna will always keep us under his shelter. So I'm not going to go into the next. I had plans for Pingala, but I will not go into that one. That I will save for the next class whenever. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna. If there is one question, I can give you a short answer. If the question is short. Anybody else? Dheeraj Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The question I have is related to when you react to the other people's or the. I understand the devotee part, but when you are dealing with the other part of the your life, where you have non-devotees and you are into your work environment or some other part of your life, and where you're conscious at that time, you're remembering Krishna, you're trying to control yourself. But certain times I've seen, even in spite of that, sometimes you become furious and you respond. And I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it turned out to be right to me, the case. And after that, after going home, I was like trying to analyze. I was continuously thinking about Krishna. I was trying to control my emotions. I was trying to control the response, but still came out. So I don't know if Krishna wanted me to respond rather, because I don't know how other way Krishna will respond in that situation. Or is it you hold yourself completely and give up, or you should respond on that?
Everybody got the question? When put in difficult situations in the material world, how do I respond? Should I respond or I should not respond? When I respond, is it Krishna responding or is it me really responding? So every situation is slightly different, but whenever we respond, we must respond, but we must respond in a proper manner, in a Vaishnava manner also. Even in the non-devotee community, we must remember that I represent Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON, and how I respond. If you're an authority, and if you have to use the stick, Prabhupada said that, like the cobra, use the cobra. The cobra just shows the fangs, and the kids run away. It would not bite. So same way, we can show our fangs, but don't bite. So like that, we could do that. You know, if somebody's wrong or something's stepping on you, let them know, hey, listen, this is not right, okay? I'm letting you know one time. After that, I'm going to our boss. It's okay to say that. But don't, now I'm going to try and do something wrong, I'm going to put virus into when he walks away from his computer. I'm going to send a nasty email to Donald Trump from that email. That is bad. Okay, thank you. Yes. 24, so Gopal Prabhu is showing in the back, we have this book, 24 Gurus. It's a wonderful book, very simply and a simple way it's expressed. Yeah, I would encourage all the parents especially to get that and take one guru at a time and teach them values that they can never learn from any school or colleges. And from that you can teach them some very, very important values and morals. Hare Krishna.